budget of mark or bow? For me, budget of work is basically the allocation of lessons or competencies by week and by quarter. It serves as a guide for every teacher to stay or track and deliver the list of competences found in each curriculum. Budget of board is a resource material for teaching multi-grade classes that contain two K-12 basic education curriculum, competencies, skills, and objectives, topic for specific skills and competencies and teaching strategies, activities, and time allotment. Arranged into columns for easy reference and notation. I will serve as teacher reference in preparing daily and weekly lesson plans. Lang po.
Good evening, everyone. My question is why is it called a budget of work? In my own opinion, what it's called a budget of work because budgeting is the only one aspect of forward planning. You need to address all the business and subject function at school and ensure they are alignment with purpose, vision, mission, and objectives. Any grade school teacher requires a discussion of what it will be cost and how it will improve the knowledge of their student. Budget of work will be part of teacher in discussion since it's lay on out of picture in any subject. It requires an expected student to learn on the budget time. All plotted to timeline since they propose it to budget the work. Teacher need to action on how they be manage future event next month, next quarter, next semester. Budget of work will be part of the future planning in multigrade teaching science competence for the grade 5, 4, and grade 6. Because budget of work is a plan on how teachers manage their time so they can teach more easier. The idea is that you are going to budget your time to a specific subject so that you can save time on your work as a teacher. Budgeting is really just a form of long-term planning that guide you on how much time should be put in a specific categories of working in multigrade classes. Once again, I'm Apandi Rose Mia. Thank you for listening.
Number 3, what are its content? Budget of work for multi-graded teaching science competencies for grade 4, 5, and 6 in basic education and realize its goals and objectives in 4 key reform areas. First is K-12 curriculum review and update. Second, improvement of the learning environment. Third, teacher upskills and reskills. Fourth, engagement of stakeholders for support and collaboration. It will be used by the teacher to prepare everyday and weekly lesson plan. This budget of work for multi-grade teaching science competence for grade 4, 5, and 6, the map most essential learning competencies that every science learner must exhibit at the end of each grade level per quarter. Thank you. Number 4 question, what is a budget of work used for? BOW is used as a guide of teachers. This is for them to stay on track throughout the weeks and quarters, not to shuffle lessons from grade level to grade level. This serves as a map of multi-grade teachers. We all know how that they are teachers who are teaching not only one grade level for them to see what they needed to teach their students the most.
the next week to come. Knowing what strategies to use, the skills and competencies that the learners to adopt, the activities that the students needed to achieve, and what are the expected outcome. All of these are written down to the bow as their guide towards their learners' achievement and make the teacher's work easier.
Number five question. What are the parts of budget of works? The first part is about the quarter or week. A quarter is a 3-month period and there is 10 weeks for every quarter. Or there is a 36 weeks or 180 days for the school year. But there's a holiday that decreases the days or weeks, and also it depends if the disaster or calamity may occur. The second part is the domain or strand. Are general in nature, it covers a broad sphere of what teachers should target in the teaching learning process. Example, for the first quarter, the target or the teacher must teach is about matter. He will be focused on that every week, or what is the schedule or the target for the week. The third part is the competencies. Are the knowledge, skills, abilities, and behaviors that contribute to individual and organizational performance. Knowledge is information developed or learned through experience, study, or investigation. Skill is the result of repeatedly applying knowledge or ability. So this is the skills that must develop by teachers into the learner for a certain week. The fourth part is the suggested learning activities. Are activities designed or deployed by the teacher to bring about or create the conditions for learning? So this is the activities that need or must develop of the learner to perform it clearly and correctly with the help of or guide of teachers. The last The last part is suggested assessment strategies can be used to track the overall progress of the students. So this is where the teacher can assess the student if the students learn about the activities, if it's successful or not, and this is where the teacher can use like open-ended question, ask students to reflect, quizzes, ask students to summarize, hand signal. So this is the example that teacher can use from a simple assessment strategies. That's
So number six question. My question is, did you notice a pattern in the arrangement of the competencies? How are the competencies grouped? So we all know that students build and apply the competencies for effective learning, living, and working. So the main topic is all about the matter. So based on my observation, in the first sentence we have uh, the topic, and we have objectives here. As I observe, the teaching science competencies for grade 4 to 6 are more about the properties of materials and changes so far. So they identify such matters, abilities, effects, and proper waste disposal. The attitudes, the arrangement is developing the main importance of the changes of the matter that they could apply in living. The changes when it exposed certain conditions such as temperature or when mixed with other materials. And also if it is harmful to our environment. It is significant since they would already be aware of these things. It improves matter knowledge. The changes that materials go through are crucial in developing the competencies that students need to understand how things change. They will be aware of the changes. In grade 5, since they already have knowledge in matters, we have an objective that is repeated. It is helping the students to extend and refine their understanding of knowledge and skills previously, skills previously taught. In grade 6, since they already understand, they would apply it and determine the techniques of change. They taught the benefits of separating mixtures from products in the community and design the product out of local, recyclable, solid, and liquid materials in making useful products. So, those competencies are essential for providing students with the knowledge, skills, and attitudes they will need to succeed in their learning, living, and working journeys. That's all. Thank you for listening.
So for number 7, the question is, are the suggested learning activities are enough to develop the competencies? So, in my opinion, the suggested learning activities are enough to develop the competencies because activities are the way to develop their skills and competencies. These are also called goals. Competencies are defined by the needs of the professional workforce with essential knowledge, skills, and attitude required to achieve acceptable performance in a world of practice. And competencies are achieved through formal training in the classroom, individual or group assignments, and hands-on fieldwork. And also, and as a teacher, let us teach collaboration as a value and skill set and help students learn through their strengths. All we know that we are born with brains and want to learn. We're also born with different strengths. And by growing the strength, we best identify with can better feed an appetite of learning. Young people need new skills for their current and future work that will make them ready to collaborate with others and also to develop their competencies. Not only in their own classroom, but potentially with others across the planet. Encouraging students to work together on the creative challenge and allowing them to reflect on the learnings they take from exercise will make them better understand. Thank you. For the next question, are they doable or applicable in the context of your learners? The suggested learning activities are doable or applicable in the context of my learners. As I read the budget of work for multigrade teaching science competencies for grade 4, 5, and 6, it shows that the learners will enjoy doing their activities. It is applicable in every grade level. In grade 4, 5, and 6, week 1, which is the domain strand is matter, I need to prepare flashcards and different materials related to matter like aluminum, tin, can, metal, steel, rubber band, sacks, and plastic cups. These materials are easy to prepare. Children can also see that in their house. They will directly touch and observe the materials. In week 2, the suggested learning activities is a video presentation about the harmful effects of decaying materials. I will download the video in my laptop, so even without the internet, the learners can access the video they need for that particular activity. Having group activities will help the pupils to develop their social skills. It is applicable and doable in the subject of science because it consists of experimental and experiential learning. That's all. Thank you. Number 8 question. Are the suggested assessment activities sufficient to evaluate the learning of pupils in the target competencies? As we can see in the budget of work for multigrade teaching science competences for grade 4, grade 5, and grade 6 from week 1 to week 10, the suggested learning activities and suggested assessment strategies in grade 4, grade 5, and grade 6 We can see in the budget of work that the suggested assessment activities is on target to evaluate the students' learning in the competencies that are required in budget of work. In budget of work in grade 5, grade 4, and grade 6, in every activities, the learners will experience firsthand the activities. The, the learners do experiments applying what they do or what they learned in the activities. In short, the activities in budget of work of grade 5 to grade 6 is very accurate and effective for the students to achieve the requirements of the learning competencies as well as how they assess the learners in budget of work. That's all. Thank you.